This is Art Television.
Coming up, State of Business, sponsored by
IWS Aviation.
Good evening and welcome to the State of Business on Art Television. I am Chavika Samarasinghe. Let's have a look at the headlines. World Bank shines spotlight on Sri Lanka. Central Bank highlights importance of policy rate hikes. News in detail. The World Bank recently set the spotlight on Sri Lanka with its publication, Crisis in Sri Lanka, Lessons from the Asian Financial Crisis. This spotlight compares the situations in the East and Southeast Asian crisis countries in the 1990s with Sri Lanka now to draw lessons for Sri Lanka and other developing economies. The spotlight notes lessons from East and Southeast Asian countries which were able to recover quickly through sound policies. Despite differences, some key lessons emerged from the experiences of the Asian financial crisis, both for Sri Lanka now and for other developing countries. Promoting sustainable growth is seen as being vital. In Sri Lanka, further efforts to enhance productivity growth may include lowering youth unemployment and increasing female labour force participation. The spotlight discusses structural change during a crisis and says that as Sri Lanka moves toward a resolution of the current crisis, structural changes may be inevitable. Choosing the right exchange rate regime is viewed as a critical factor. For Sri Lanka, it may be a good time to consider the gradual shift to a market-determined exchange rate to facilitate external adjustment. The World Bank argues for stronger financial sector supervision and regulation. Governments should strengthen financial supervision, regulation, and legal frameworks to help build resilience to future crises. It shows that the sequence of capital account liberalization matters. Liberalizing short-term capital flows while leaving restrictions on long-term flows leads to banking insolvency when foreign capitals exit. Thus, developing countries should use caution when liberalizing capital accounts until the domestic financial system is strong enough. It stresses that there is no one-size-fits-all solution to policy. Policy responses such as monetary policy and fiscal policy should be adopted to the nature of the crisis and changing economic situations. It also highlights the importance of sufficient foreign reserves in helping countries through periods of low foreign income or large capital outflows. Governor of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, Dr. Nandalal Veerasinghe, engaging journalists following the 7th Monetary Policy Review of 2022, discussed how small and medium enterprises have benefited from policy rate hikes.
සුළු මධ්‍යම පරිමාණ කර්මාන්තකරුවන් විසින් යම් යම් කරුණු දක්වලා තියෙනවා මේ පොලි අනුපාතය නිසා කරගෙන යන්න බෑ කියලා. ඒක නිසා තමයි මම කිව්වේ විශේෂයෙන් සුළු මධ්‍යම කර්මාන්තකරුවන්ගේ ඒ පිරිවැය බැලුවාම ඊට මේගොල්ලන්ගේ ෆයිනෑන්ස් කියන්නේ පොලිය ණයගීමේ පිරිවැය කියන එක 4.5 ප්‍රමාණයක් තියෙනවා. මුළු පිරිවැය 100ක් ගත්තොත් 4.5ක් වැඩි වුණොත් 7ක් 8ක් තමයි සුළු මධ්‍යම කරුවන්ගේ ණය නිසා ඇති වෙන පිරිවැය. 95ක්ම තියෙන්නේ ඒ අනිකුත් අමුද්‍රව්‍ය වලට, ට්‍රාන්ස්පෝර්ට් වලට, පඩි නඩි ගෙවන ඒවායි වැඩිවීම. ඒ වැඩි වෙන්නේ මොකද? ඒ වැඩි වෙන්නේ උද්දමනය නිසා. එතකොට සුළු මධ්‍යම පරිමාණ කර්මාන්තකරුවන් හිතන් ඉන්නවා නම් අපි දැන් පොලි අනුපාත දැන් පොලි වියදම දැන් තියෙන එකෙන් භාගයක් කරා කියලා. එතකොට 10ක් තිබ්බත් 5 වෙන්න පුළුවන් නේ පොලිය නිසා වෙච්ච වියදම ඉතුරු කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඔය අනේ 95 යන වියදම ආයි ඩබල් වෙනවා. අපි අඩු කරොත් පොලි අනුපාතයේ උද්දමනේ 100% වෙයි.
Speaking further, Governor Veerasinghe detailed the consequences that small and medium enterprises would have to face if inflation were not controlled.
එතකොට පඩි වැඩි කරන්න වෙනවා ඒ ප්‍රමාණයෙන් raw materials වල වැඩි කරන්න වෙනවා exchange rate එක depreciate වෙන්න පුළුවන් ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ වෙනකුත් අල්කොහොල් ලෙවල් 95ක් තමන්ගේ වියදම් දෙගුණයක් වෙන්න පුළුවන් උද්දමනය පාලනය කරේ නැත්නම්. ඒතර අපි උද්දමනය පාලනය කිරීමෙන් කරන්නේ නැත්තටම ඒගොල්ලන්ට කරන ලොකු උදව්වක්. පොළොන් පාත ඉහළ තබා ගැනීම තුළින් උද්දමනය පාලනය කිරීම කුලින් තමයි ඊයාගේ අනිත් 90% පවන වියදම් පාලනය කරගන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්නේ. ඒක නිසා තමයි ඒක වැදගත් දේ පළවෙනි කාරණය සීලම කර්මාන්තවලට, සීලම සේවාවලට, සීලම ව්‍යාපාරවලට උද්දමනය පාලනය කර ගැනීම. ඒක නැති නිසා තමයි කරගන්න බැරි වෙච්ච නිසා තමයි පහුගිය කාලේ වෙච්ච පොලි අනුපාතය උනාට අඩුවෙන් තියන් හිටියනේ කාලේ. මුදලුත් අච්චු ගහවනේ ඇති වෙන පහුගිය කාලේ. ඒක ප්‍රතිඵල තමයි මේ තියෙන්නේ. ඒත් ආයෙත් අඩුවෙන් තියා ගන්න ඕන නම් ඉස්සරහටත් ඒ ප්‍රතිඵල තමයි ලැබෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒක තමයි තේරුම් ගන්න තියෙන්නේ මේ පොලි අනුපාතය ඉහළ තබා ගන්න ඒ හැමෝගෙම ව්‍යාපාර සුළු මධ්‍ය පරිමාණ සහ සීලම අයගේ ව්‍යාපාර යම් ආකාරයක ස්ථාවරව පවත්වා ගන්න පුළුවන් හැකියාව ලැබෙන්නේ උද්දමනය පාලනය කරොත් පමණයි.
Stay tuned. We will return after this commercial break.
Roundup.
On the road with our travel superheroes.
My mission is clear.
Lukas Stege and Nicole Fröhlich explore Germany. They dive in and they check everything out.
There's a lot going on in there.
Germany tried and tested. Check in on DW.
Welcome back. The Free Trade Zone Manufacturers Association has written to President Ranil Wickremesinghe expressing its opposition to the proposed 30% tax on profit earned. The association warns that it will have serious impact on business survival and the ability to attract foreign direct investment. In their letter to the President, the association's chairman Jitendra Biala and Secretary Dhammika Fernando said that the proposed 30% is an intolerable rate. Exporters have to vie with reasonable competitors in countries such as Bangladesh, Vietnam, Indonesia and Thailand for foreign markets and buyers. It said the corporate tax for exporters in both India and Bangladesh is half the standard tax rate. The association emphasized that peer countries offer concessionary tax on exports and continue the export promotion tax rate at a minimum level in order to support their export sector through the global downturn. The association is the largest chamber representing both apparel and non-apparel sectors and the sole trade chamber representing BOI investor companies in all free trade zones. It recognizes that the country's new IMF program restores macroeconomic stability and prosperity through the creation of a competitive, export-oriented market economy to unlock Sri Lanka's growth potential. The association requests the President to review the move and restore the current concessionary tax rate of 15% and protect Sri Lanka's export sector, including both existing and potential foreign direct investment. The President has been urged to consider challenges faced by the export sector due to the global economic downturn. Sri Lanka's export earnings in August rose 11% year-on-year to 1.22 billion rupees, whilst in the first 8 months the figure rose 12.6% to $8.9 billion US. However, apparel sector prospects from September onwards do not look promising, given recessionary conditions, rising inflation and impact of the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Jat Pintaru Shilpi Abhimanya is a pioneering program launched by Jat Holdings plc in partnership with the National Apprentice Industrial Training Authority, or NITA as it is better known. It aims to uplift the industry and help promising painters and carpenters build their lives and hone their craft. The program provides skilled but uncertified individuals with a formal certification in their field of work. Under the program, NITA has provided over 100 artisans identified by JAT Holdings with an NVQ Level 3 Wood Craftsman Wood Finisher certification upon the successful completion of a NITA examination. These artisans, who completed the program, were formally presented with their certifications at the JAT Pintaru Shilpi Abhimana Convocation Ceremony, recently held at the JAT Holdings Auditorium. Individuals who obtain the NVQ Level 3 certification and who are also members of the JAT Loyalty Program are eligible to apply for a loan from HDFC Bank to further their business interests. JAT Pintaru Shilpi Abhimana is a three-phase, long-term initiative by JAT Holdings to help formalize the industry, increase professionalism, and identify and promote talent while supporting innovation and growth. Phase 1 was the JAT Loyalty Program. It offers loyalty points that can be directly converted to cash or fund savings through a collaboration with the Commercial Bank of Ceylon plc and the JAT Commercial Bank debit card. Phase 2 included the partnership with NITA to provide a fast-tracked NVQ Level 3 certification. Formal certification opens opportunities for career development, higher education, and further skills development. For Phase 3, JAT is partnering with companies to add value to and elevate the lives of painters. One such partnership is with HDFC Bank to provide access to finance for the purchase of equipment and provide working capital. JAT Pintaru Shilpi Abhimana is aligned with the UN SDGs, particularly the goals of no poverty, quality education, decent work and economic growth, and industry, innovation and infrastructure. Citizens Development Business Finance to empower the education of the nation's youth recently held the 14th session of the Sisudari Scholarship Program. This year, it awarded scholarships to 150 deserving students from across the island. Students who achieved excellent academic results in the Grade 5 Scholarship Examination and GCE Ordinary Level Examination during the year 2020 were awarded for their efforts. The awards were received by students in the presence of Chief Guest, Senior Professor Sampath Amaratunga, Chairman of the University Grants Commission. Discussing the initiative, Executive Director of CDB Mahesh Nanayakara commented that in their efforts to empower the aspirations of Sri Lankans and assist more children, this year the number of Sisudiri scholarships were increased to 150 from 100 in the years prior. 100 students who excelled in the Grade 5 Scholarship Examination were awarded Sisudiri scholarships worth 12,500 rupees per year for 5 years, which totals to 62,500 rupees per student. Meanwhile, 50 high achievers from the GCE Ordinary Level Examination were awarded annual scholarships worth 70,500 rupees per year for 2 years. This totals to 35,000 rupees per student as they pursue higher education. Discussing CDB's sustainability agenda, Senior Deputy General Manager of Marketing, Darshana Jayasinghe, detailed that it works toward the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal of quality education to drive community impact and financial inclusion. Speaking further, Jayasinghe stated that with the conclusion of this year's program, CDB has provided over 850 deserving students with Sisudiri scholarships. It is expected that the program will continue to empower the aspirations of the nation's future generation and thereby actualize national goals. That's all our news for today. For this and more, subscribe to our channel on YouTube and follow us on Facebook. Take care and good night.
State of Business was sponsored by